Hi there, everybody. This is your favorite artist and author of the Yoranthium book series, Mark Bromley. And today I want to talk to you about a problem that I'm having here in Democrat-controlled, communist-controlled, fascist-controlled Nazi, impressionists imprisoned here in North Korea, Northglenn, Colorado, Adams County, left in poverty, poor, and disadvantaged, an honorable service veteran who is not being treated equally and not even being given fair employment opportunities. What I'm showing you today is Adams County, your government, your Democrat Party, stealing art ideas and mocking me, making fun of me over those art images. In 2021, I created the really quick mock-up of the homeless artwork that you see right here. I created that in 2021, and I was using it as part of a fundraiser because you know what? I don't believe in taking money from people, just asking you for money and just taking it. I really don't believe in that. It's not my favorite thing to do. I like to provide product. My products tend to be art, books, something that's a real business, uh, something that benefits you and benefits me because you get something of real value and real merit. Hence why I created this homeless picture. I had asked people to donate and contribute to my art to create this so we can create awareness of a really terrible problem happening in Adams County and Northglenn that I motivated some people within the city government to actually try to take steps to restore economic hopefulness to a lot of people, which they had not done. They went through a bunch of lip service, but they lied. They're actually creating homelessness just to sell it to people, to promote it so they can promote real estate. Tofu drag building real estate within the state of Colorado. That's why they have homelessness. The Democrat Party's behind it. They're creating homelessness on purpose so that a bunch of unscrupulous, evil, corrupted real estate companies can rip off the state of Colorado, the same way that they did Detroit. When Detroit's housing market collapsed, that's where they came to. They came to Colorado and other states uh, where their housing bubble fell apart. They came here to do the same thing. And we're losing agriculture. We lost dairy. We lost cattle. We might be eating bugs and living in our little pods. Stay in your pod, eat your bugs. That's probably the direction that our communist Democrat government wants us to go. Anyways, this project was called Art and Lived Experience, Housing and Security. I applied to this. I actually applied to this grant through the CaFE project. My artwork was good, very good, and they know it. What I thought that they wanted was they wanted a relief sculpture. Basically, I was going to do something kind of like a drywall sculpture. It was a 2D, 3D, two-dimensional, three-dimensional sculpted work of an environment that I had envisioned for creating housing of the future that incorporated a lot of brand new concepts in architecture and actually had new technologies, provided new jobs, created a new economy. The whole entire sculpture actually involved around this, and it would have been a tiered system that actually inspired single housing for single families, but in a more ergonomic environment, an environment that had landscaping, that had trees, garden paths, lakes, streams, river, even allowed a certain amount of wildlife to be preserved. within the tiered system that was being established. And this is all based on technologies that exist currently in the housing. Some of it you may have seen in Dubai's The Line, but mine's actually more open, more of a organic type of society instead of a rigid, narrow line, which is kind of awful that they would actually build a line. I thought that was ridiculous. But anyways, if you've seen a lot of architectural ideas that are coming out these days, then you would have understood what was going to be in my project. My project actually was going to use more people than just one made-up homeless person. In this picture, they call him a war veteran. They're making fun of me again because I am actually an honorable service veteran with a medal on my DD-214 of a war zone that the Independence and the Kitty Hawk was sent to over in the Middle East. And I worked in the V2 division. Anybody that worked in the V2 division, they know it's a tough division. It's catapults, arresting gear. It's dangerous. It's not easy work. It's hazardous duty. It's almost like working in a war zone. And actually, sometimes people say war zones are safer than what we do in the V2 division. And a lot of the people that I met when I was in the military, they come from the same backgrounds like George Floyd does, inner city. Some of them had gang problems and other issues before they joined the Navy, and they would have likely gotten into trouble for little things like, Faces of Death, where a Russian guy was drawn and quartered by four horses, ripped apart because he owed some mob boss $25 in their organized crime of government, of communist government. Yeah, $25. Same thing happened to George Floyd, right? He got killed for $20. Yeah, it was accidental manslaughter, but manslaughter is manslaughter, murder is murder. It simply is. Actually, it's that whole George Floyd message is about poverty and being more understanding and careful towards one another so you're not accidentally killing people for trivial matters like $20. Because apparently that's what it was, $20 in counterfeit money. That's what the whole argument was really about. So yeah, he was drawn and quartered and ripped apart. And he had a wife and kids just like me. That's why I can say that I'm like George Floyd. He's had police harassment aimed at him. I've had police harassment aimed at me by the city officials, those elected on office, those people who I ran against, the Democrats. They're the ones that actually harassed me with the police. The police never harass anybody. They only do that if somebody in government, somebody in their leadership forces them to do that. It's your leaders that are wrong. Don't blame the police. Blame the leadership. Go after the leadership. 1066, the Battle of Hastings. You want to win a war, take care of the leader. Shoot him in the eye. King Harold was killed in the eye with an arrow. And that's what settled the difference between who ruled England. Was it going to be the Normans or was it going to be the Anglo-Saxons? And that's how it was decided. So yeah, go after the leadership. Don't go after the police. They're just doing a job. They're taking care of their family and their loved ones, trying to keep a house, home, everything like that. Don't go after them. The only reason why they do bad things and they attack good people is because of your elected leadership. Something that I've been running against for a long time. Now, I showed you my I Heart N Northland logo that I talked about earlier. City of Northland, City of North Korea, stole that art idea from me. And at the Ward 4 meeting, they presented their handbags that they created. I was told about that ahead of time by one of the city council members who wanted to order my coffee mug off my website with that logo because he knew that their NURA board was stealing my idea. NURA here in Northland is supposed to help businesses in blight. It doesn't do such a thing. It's a political objective. It's political hate. It's a foundation of justifying the United States of America going to civil war. And this is why so many poli-science, gender study majors, like Jenny Wolford should never be in office because they're circus clowns. They're haters, and they're creating conditions of civil war here in the United States of America over a value of 51% to 49%. They look at it as just percentages. They don't see the millions of people involved. But they're trying to have a rematch, apparently. Apparently, this is Biden's goal, I guess. Messed up stuff, the messed up government wants the civil war. They want to create such a situation. And it's terrible. And so they make these things. They steal my art. Right here, they stole my homelessness. Of course, they paid this person that they got here. This is not the first project. I actually applied to a couple of projects to Adams County through the CaFE, the call for entry for artists. I applied to a couple. I should have been given at least actually, I think there's three projects I applied for. I should have won at least one of them. Oh, the Poet Laureate, that's the other one I applied for. And anyways, I applied for these three positions through CaFE, call for entry for artists, right? And in two of those cases, I haven't confirmed the third one yet. The third one is still going through its process, so it hasn't fully formalized. But the third process, it was supposed to be an actual sculpture. I created a sculpture. I was going to put that out there. It was kind of like it was a planter. It was basically just a planter for a life-size bonsai tree of a cottonwood. We were going to actually shape and sculpt a bonsai tree cottonwood to decorate this little planter. This is what I had designed. I can show you that. Why not? Let me just show you that too. It's right here. And it's a nice piece. I did a little scale model of it, 25 millimeter scale model, um, real quick, because I had less than a week or two to actually submit all the work that they wanted for that. So to put that project together, I was kind of under the gun. So yeah, so it was really simple. It was just really simple sculpture right there. And it would have been a bench. You could have walked around it. It was going to be lit up. There was going to be like stained glass or stained resin that was going to be illuminated from behind, so it would look really pretty. And it was also kind of sculpturally artistic as far as what I'm doing with the Yoranthium book series. So it's kind of like it's like a garden piece, a fountain piece, a bonsai tree piece that I was creating in some of the storytelling I was doing within the Yoranthium book series. So, because you have to create buildings, you have to create cities. When you're talking as expansive as I'm talking about in the Yoranthium book series, you have to. But enough of that. In these projects so far, I had found that the Democrats have been belligerently racist, sexist, and discriminatory in their hiring process, deliberately. In all cases, they've decided to give the awards to a chick. You must be a chick, you must be black, and you must be gay as fuck. This is basically the Democrat platform's decision-making process on the CaFE projects. You you have to be a chick, you have to be black, and you have to be gay as fuck. Because if you watch this video, you'll see what I'm talking about. That's exactly what they did. And in this project, the person they picked here, she is very small-minded. My project was not just going to be a freeze, it was actually going to involve a lot more people. It was actually going to start to create real solutions by using the limited budget that this project offered. Of course, I'm a really good artist. I can do wonderful things a uh, with a well, I should just say decent amount of resource. I don't want to throw in the truth that I've been creating a lot of art with practically nothing. But but there you go. Practically nothing. If you've seen a lot of my artworks, you'll say it's a lot of mixed colors from base colors. It is, because when you're a poor artist and you don't have enough income, you get red, yellow, blue, a brown, a black, and a white. That's basically your palette. That's your color palette, because you have to make all your other colors from that color palette. And You've seen my mood page. I showed you a mood page that I recently created for the uh, one of the Adams County projects that hasn't been fully resolved. I haven't found out who they got for that, but let me guess, it's probably a chick. She's black and she's gay. That's probably what it is, right? Right? That's probably what Amy Smith picked. That's what her team picked because they've done it so far on two projects that I applied to. Poet laureate, same thing. That's the exact way they went with it. That's the direction. Now, I have no problem with this at all. I mean, Joy obviously had a good voice. She did have some poems. I don't know if they're really hers or if she stole those from other people, um, but she has a good voice, nice hairstyle and stuff like that. But that's fine. I'm not really too upset about that. But the problem that I had with her, that I objected, is that she hates the Denver police. Denver police, like I said, they're just doing a job. It's the leadership that's the problem. And then she sits there and she admits that she works for the leadership in Denver. The leadership in Denver that made the police so terribly bad at doing their job. It's the leadership that's the problem, and she works for that leadership. So, of course, she's blaming the police because they work for the city. They're just employees of the city. They were just hired by the city. So let's just blame the employees like some kind of screaming Karen out there. Let's just blame them because they work for us. Let's not blame the leadership. Let's not blame the management. Let's blame the people that work for the management. Oh, yeah, they're the ones that are doing it. No, they're only doing it because they were told to. If they don't do it, they get fired, they lose their income, and their families suffer. Their families suffer greatly. And they make examples out of employees so they can get compliance out of the other employees. In Homeland Security, I am one of those families that got wrongfully attacked by the management because they wanted to make an example to force their employees to obey them, to force compliance. Democrats always do this. They love to force compliance because they are the Confederates of old. They've always been into human slavery and human trafficking and terrible, deplorable conditions that existed ever since the Democrat founder, who was the first slave owner, who had all those slaves, who brutalized those slaves for the purpose of selling opium in the United States. The first drug cartel of the United States was the Democrat Party. But here you can still see that because of politics, because of the hatred that the Democrats hold, they stole my artwork. Adams County, your government is stealing my artwork, deliberately stealing from me because I ran against their candidates. Now you can see my artwork was made in 2021. This video was made in 2023, 2024, somewhere around here. So this is like 3 or 4 years later. 3 years later. 2 or 3 years later. 2 or 3 years later. And they stole my artwork. Then they wanted to put the sign war veteran down there to ridicule me even more. This is a crime by the Democrats here in Adams County, Colorado, North Korea, Colorado. This is two artworks of mine that they have stolen that I applied for and that they did not want to pay me for. So they stole it and they used it in their messaging. And this is how I'm treated in my local community. This is why I call it North Korea, because this is what they're doing. This is the oppression. This is oppression that Nazis, communists, socialists, the false religion of government, the false religion of government, and those who get elected into office that want to be your false gods. This is what they do. They steal art. They steal artwork from people who deserve to be paid and compensated for it, like myself. I should have won this. I should have been awarded the contract on this because it's obviously my skills that promoted this. That the person that they selected for this, she only did this based off of my ideas. She stole my ideas to create this. And if you watch this video later on, you'll see them over at a park bench with a piece of paper and some markers. The most toxic thing that you can do in an art project is to use acid-based markers. And they're using acid-based markers on cheap paper that is like loaded up with acid. So the artwork's not even going to last. It's going to deteriorate. It's going to like crumble eventually because it's full of acid. It's not acid free. So no no understanding of archival processes even took place, showing that the people that they picked for this project don't even understand what they're doing in the arts because they don't understand the fundamental processes of the arts itself. So she created a project that is actually creating homelessness. They created a project that is not art and is not a lived experience because they did not promote what artists really need. Artists need a studio, an actual studio. They need a built-in structure where they can plan, build, create. Preferably if they can be given actual true professional easels, true professional drawing boards or drawing tables, a true place to work in that's open, that encourages creativity and growth, that actually has access to the equipment that they need, the tooling that they need, be that like printmaking process, sculpting processes, things like that, actually improves the ability of an artist to do art. Here they're just doing a drawing in this video, just a drawing on a park bench that has holes in it on the table. One of those holy park bench tables. And it's like, this is the best you could do? It's a scam. It's a lie. The person that they hired here was just to take our art resources that were allocated in the funding to send those taxes to Democrat coffers. And when they get to Democrat coffers, because the Democrats are ran by the Nazi known as Soros and his Nazi emerge group, those taxes move right back into Soros's funding. People think Soros is wealthy. He isn't. He's poor. His money's coming from taxpayers. And he's created his emerge group, his message, his communism, his socialism, his false belief, so that the Democrats can give your taxpaying dollars to his projects. CaFE, I already suspect CaFE is a George Soros run environment because it only promotes a Democrat message. Three cases I applied for them 3 times, and the person that they picked, Democrat messaging by the emerge group of Soros. And every single one of these people that are attached to this program, the people elected into the North Korea of Adams County, the North Korea of North Glen, Colorado, every single one of them went through the emerge group that Soros controls. Every one of them. Jenny Wilford, the one I'll be running for against for the House district, she's a emerge group, Soros-backed Nazi candidate. She's the one that's going to promote false religion, false belief, and a false god. And that's what she's going to be there for. She's there to promote a false world. She already did it, 6523. You can go to the Citizens to be Heard for the city of Northland, the city of North Korea, and you can watch her talk about trying to encourage the citizens of North Korea, Northland, Colorado, to gender mutilate their children. You can see it. It's a real show. She actually did it. And they were doing it down in the state capitol, and they continue to do this kind of debauchery. And they steal my artwork, mostly to mock me, make fun of me. They don't say it outright, but they know that I'm seeing this. And that's what they want me to see. that they're stealing my artwork that I put in these CaFE projects. They've seen my painting for the homelessness. They've seen that, and there it is, right there. There's the real image. He has the hat, the coat, the pants, the shoes, the position, pretty much. Yeah, they ripped me off. They put war veteran because they know I'm a war veteran. I have a medal on my DD-214, and they want to make fun of me, and that's what they're doing. Anyways, I'm Mark Bromley. Help me out. Donate to my cause. Get my book Yoranthium. Buy my t-shirts. I have artwork. Contact me by email if you really want to talk to me and really want a project from me. It's obvious I'm not going to get anything from the Democrats. It's obvious. North Korea, North Korea, Adams County, Colorado will never give me any money because I am not their political message. You know, I had a person said, well, if they're not going to help you, why don't you act like them? You could be them. Well, then I'd be a dishonest person if I actually joined the Democrats, because that's all Democrats are, dishonest people. They hurt families, they destroy lives, and they create homelessness. There's no reason to respect the Democrat platform. Thank you for listening to me. Help me out. Help me fight against this. This is violation of my intellectual properties doing art. That's 2 counts of it. This is the second evidence and proof that I have that my local government is stealing art from the artists when you actually supply it to them through call for entry, CaFE, that they're just stealing from artists and they're not paying them for the work that they do. I charged them for this. I should send another bill out for this because now this is about $2,000 that the immediate community owes me for coming up with the creative ideas that they've used and manipulated for their own messaging. This is criminal activity that's taken place by your government. You want to follow false religion of government? You want to make these elected officials of your Democrats into your false gods? You really want that? Don't do it. Don't vote for them again. Vote them out of office. Take their money away. Take your money back. Don't give them another cent. They won't give me a money. They won't give me a paycheck. They don't care about how long it takes me to come up with some of these art ideas or these art projects, to engage in it, to create some kind of imagery. They don't care about that. They don't care about my life. They don't care about my wife. They don't care about my son. They don't care about my home. They would rather see people on the street, like the homelessness they're talking about. They would rather see people on the street because they do not want to pay. They just want to steal. And these are your government. These are your elected officials through the Democrat Party. That's all they are. Thieves, crooks, and criminals. That's all they are. Dirtbags. Anyways, help me out. I need the help more than, well, don't go through CaFE. CaFE's bullshit. Obviously 3 projects. And instead of giving me the contract, they stole my art ideas. They're just thieves. Help me out. Help me fight this. Get my book series. Donate to my campaign. Volunteer in my campaign. Endorse my campaign. Help me get my petition signed in May and June. Help me get all this stuff done so we can push back and correct the deficiencies going on in our current society. I'm Mark Bromley, author and artist of the Yoranthium book series, and obviously an artist getting taken advantage of and abused by North Korea here in the United States, called Colorado, of Nazi, socialist, communistic oppression. Help me push back against it. Help me save the arts programs from becoming quiche. Thank you very much. You all have a great day.